Good evening. From my perspective here in Vietnam, sometimes, amidst all the serious global news, a lighter, more human story catches the eye. It is now Sunday evening, April 13th, 2025, around 6:51 p.m. local time, and I have just read an interesting international report about a seemingly historic first meeting between two very famous people who share the same first name: football legend Lionel Messi and music legend Lionel Richie. Let's explore the details reported and think a bit about this unique story. The main event described is that Lionel Messi finally met the singer Lionel Richie for the very first time just yesterday, April 12th, at some kind of event. What makes this special, according to the report, is the long-standing claim about why Messi has his name. The story goes, as reported here, that Messi's mother, Celia Cucitini, was a huge fan of Lionel Richie back in the day. She loved his famous songs like Dancing on the Ceiling and Hello. Apparently, she admired the singer so much that she decided to name her son, who would grow up to be arguably the greatest footballer ever, after him. For over 30 years, these two global icons shared a name but had never actually met face to face. The report describes their meeting yesterday as an exciting moment, especially for the singer. Lionel Richie apparently shared photos of them shaking hands and chatting happily on social media almost immediately. He wrote a caption, quoted in the report, "When Lionel met Lionel, his mother named him after me. And now we finally meet. It was great meeting you after all these years." However, the report also notes an interesting reaction online. While many were charmed, some people expressed skepticism. Comments like, "Is it really true Messi was named after Lionel Richie? Where did this origin story come from?" and "hard to believe" apparently appeared. Others seemed to accept it, with comments like "Messi's family recognized greatness." This shows that even with Richie's public statement, not everyone immediately accepted the naming story as fact based solely on this report. The article points out, though, that this is not the first time Lionel Richie has made this claim. He apparently mentioned it in an interview back in 2014, saying, "They named him after me. How proud does that make me?" He even reportedly offered words of encouragement to Messi after Argentina lost the Copa America final in 2016, referencing their shared name and saying, "Being named Lionel, you can't go wrong." The report then draws a connection between Richie's encouraging words back then and Messi's later massive successes, including winning the World Cup in 2022 and the Copa America in 2021 and 2024, calling Richie's prediction accurate. Thinking about this story from my perspective here in Vietnam, it is certainly a charming anecdote connecting to legends from completely different fields, music and sports. Core claim that one was named after the other is fascinating. Critically examining the report, the evidence presented for the naming origin rests heavily on Lionel Richie's consistent statements over the years 2014, 2016, and now. The report doesn't include a direct quote or confirmation from Lionel Messi himself or his mother about the naming story within this specific article. This might explain the online skepticism mentioned. Is it a confirmed fact, or a delightful story mostly promoted by Richie that has become widely accepted over time? This report doesn't definitively answer that, though it leans towards presenting Richie's version. The meeting itself, after more than 3 decades, also makes one wonder, was it a chance encounter or a carefully arranged event? Celebrity meetings often have an element of planning. Regardless of how verifiable the naming origin is, based only on this report, the story itself clearly resonates. It creates a nice narrative link between two icons. The article reinforces this by connecting Richie's past words to Messi's eventual triumphs, framing it almost like a prophecy fulfilled. While perhaps just a coincidence, it adds a layer of warmth to the story. Reading this on a Sunday evening, it's a pleasant change from reports about conflicts and crises. It's a story about connection, admiration, and perhaps the interesting ways fame and legacy intertwine across different parts of the world and different professions. Even with the lingering questions about the full verification of the naming story, according to this specific report, the image of the two Lionels finally meeting is quite memorable.